Let's bring in U.S. Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam and a former FBI special agent, also retired senior special agent with the Secret Service, Tim Spiess. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. Tim, let me start with you. You know, something that struck me yesterday was the county sheriff saying Trump's footprint would have been bigger security detail if he was the sitting president. Well, he's a former president, the Republican candidate for president, and has already been shot once this summer. How did that land with you?
I felt that he should have had a much higher level of protection back in July before the first attempt. There's a written rule out there where 120 days before the election, any candidate that is running should get vice presidential level protection. So actually, he should have had elevated before the first attempt.
Jonathan, based on everything that you've seen, all of our reporting, what are the missteps that you've noticed so far?
First of all, I'd like to thank Tim for those words. That is good to hear from somebody who's a former senior Secret Service agent. I think he would probably agree with me now as I point out the fact that perimeter security seems to have completely fallen by the wayside with the Secret Service and actually the Capitol Police as well. When you look at when the congressional baseball game was shot and Scalise was shot. And by the way, that individual used the same SKS Russian-made AK-47 as the attempted assassin yesterday. So when we look at all of these different issues with perimeter security, what we ultimately see is fatal funnels being created because perimeter security is not being done properly by the Secret Service and by the local law enforcement. It's partially their job as well. If you look at these trees that you're seeing right there, there's trees, shrubbery, and then there's a fence, right? So at one point where hole 5 and hole 6 are, and when the shooter fled, Trump was inside the max effective range of an SKS rifle with a scope. So he was in that max effective range. That should never happen. Especially for somebody who's been shot already.
Exactly. And it's scary how close we've come yet again. Tim, Trump hasn't changed anything about this coming week. You know, his campaign schedule, rallies. What would you tell American voters who have had that on their agenda for this week to attend?
He's actually coming to Wilmington, which is about 5 miles from my house here in North Carolina, this Saturday. I've attended a rally of his about 2 years ago, so it's going to be over at the airport. I would just suggest to people that come, just be cognizant of your surroundings. Don't be paranoid. You have to put faith and trust in the Secret Service. I can tell you that I call them the grunt agents because that's what we are. We are on the ground doing the work. We work 12, 15 hours a day for something like this, and we put the time in. Just trust in them that they have your back and that you can go there and you can enjoy the rally. The detail around him is always very good. They're well trained. They will do what they need to do, as you can see in the last 2 attempts. Just follow the orders of the law enforcement there at the venue, and just really try to put a lot of faith in them. I think that people really enjoy these remaining rallies that are coming down the road the next 51 days.
Yeah, so many people, they want to attend, and there are a lot of undecideds who need to attend, right, to help make a choice in this final stretch here. Jonathan, based on the facts that we know so far, how much planning do you believe went into this, you know, would-be assassins attempt here, planning the weapon, couple backpacks, a GoPro? You know, what you've seen and, you know, heard so far, what do you think he did leading up to yesterday?
Well, first of all, let's take a look at this picture. Those are not 2 backpacks. Those are ballistic plates, right? Those are ballistic plates that he set up on that fence, tied in securely so that he would have cover, which is a protection from others shooting at him, and concealment with the fence and the shrubbery. He then put the camera up so that he could film this and had his car staged so he could potentially have a getaway. Now, he didn't just walk up and all of a sudden appear with these things. That took time for him to do that. It also took planning.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.